everyone, welcome back to Actual English. I'm Jennifer Clyde. It's time for lesson 229 and today's topic is manicures and pedicures. I'm sure you have heard of manicures quite often. So what is a manicure? Of course, manicure could be another way of calling nail polish. So it is another name for nail polish, but when we generally say manicure, it's professional care of one's hands. So you may go to a nail salon and ask for, your hands to be cared for. The professionals or the manicurist will, of course, soak your hands in soapy water, and then after that, they may rub your hands or even feet. If it's a manicure, your hands, and they may even remove your cuticles around your nails, and finally, you'll end up having beautiful hands and fingernails. So simply put, a manicure is where you get special treatment for your hands and fingernails, whereas a pedicure is where you get special treatment for your feet and toenails, okay? We'll talk about more details in today's lesson, so let's get started. Here is Actual Talk.
Hey Pete, I've got a question for you. My friend and her significant other have been arguing about whether or not it's normal for men to get manicures and pedicures. Why are you laughing?
What an interesting thing to argue about. I must say, for me, I never had it until maybe 2 or 3 months ago, and that's the only time I've ever had it in my life. I did think it was a bit of a girly, feminine thing to do, and I still do think that, but obviously, here in Korea, there's a different view to guys getting makeup done and having a perm and things like that. Whereas in the UK, that's not something that normal guys do or that your everyday guy would do. But I must also admit that feeling pampered was amazing. Like, my hands have never looked better. But still, I don't really want to do it again. I don't know why my hands have to look that pretty.
Well, I must say, as far as I know, in Canada, it's not normal either, but I heard it's becoming trendy for men to have nice, neat fingers. The pedicure, I guess for calluses, it could have a practical use. The reason they were arguing is somebody had given them a gift card for a date type of thing, the gentleman had thought that it was weird, and she had thought he was closed-minded. And in Korea, as you said, it's trendy. So I just wondered what a UK view would be.
Yeah, no, I think, whatever you're getting done, as a guy, even if you don't admit it openly, you want to feel pampered.
Yeah,
and
of course.
Afterwards, you feel like $1 million as well. And, it's everyone's guilty pleasure, I reckon.
Wow.
Do you like getting it done regularly, Kelly?
Now that you've mentioned it, I think I'm going to be heading off to a salon fairly soon.
All right, I might join you, but I'm not going to admit that on air.
Okay, welcome back everyone. Today we had Peter and Kelly talking about manicures and pedicures. I'm sure you've heard some new words such as corns, calluses. You could talk a lot about cuticles when it comes to manicures and pedicures. So as I told you, a manicure is when you get special treatment for your hands and your fingernails, where you may clip your fingernails, file them down into a certain shape, whether it's a round shape or a square shape. You may also get rid of your cuticles or remove the cuticles around your nails. And when it comes to getting a pedicure, which means to get special treatment for your feet or your toenails, they may remove a lot of the corns that may have formed on your toes, and also calluses that usually form on the bottom of our palms or our foot, or feet that is. Okay, let's take a look at the conversation then. Here we go. Kelly says, "Hey Pete, I've got a question for you." And then she says, "My friend and her significant other have been arguing about whether or not it's normal for men to get manicures and pedicures." So here, let's check out a few words that are very important for you to understand. So we've got significant other, which means what? Simply put, a significant other is like your spouse, a very special person to you. It can be your girlfriend or your boyfriend or your husband or your wife, okay? Your significant other. So her friend and her significant other her and her boyfriend or husband have been arguing about what? Whether or not it's normal for men to get manicures and pedicures. We all know what a manicure is and what a pedicure is by now, right? And then she says, "Why are you laughing?" So when Kelly told this to Peter, he started giggling, right? He was laughing. So that's why she's saying, "Hey, what's so funny? Why are you laughing?" And he says, "What an interesting thing to argue about." Okay? He's kind of making a joke out of it, saying, "What's the big deal? You know, why are they fighting over such a small thing?" And then he says, "I never had it, or I never had a manicure or a pedicure until maybe 2 or 3 months ago. And that's the only time I've ever had it in my life." So he's never had a manicure or a pedicure ever before in his life, but for the very first time, he got it. And that was about 2 or 3 months ago. And then he says, I did think it was a bit of a girly, feminine thing to do. So you all know what feminine is, right? Feminine. The opposite would be masculine, very manly. But he's saying that getting a manicure or a pedicure is kind of like a feminine thing to do. A girly thing to do is very similar to a feminine thing to do. It's what girls would most likely do, okay, or females would most likely get. And then he says, but here in Korea, there's a different view to guys getting makeup done and having a perm. So he's saying in Korea, it's different compared to the UK. So he's comparing how things are in Korea and in the UK. In the UK, that's not something that the everyday guy would do. So what is he saying? It is not something that the everyday guy would do. He's saying in Korea, it is much more common. It's commonly seen. It's much more natural or considered normal for men to go get makeup done sometimes. Not heavy makeup, but yes, makeup. Maybe go to a hairstylist and get a perm done, or even go to a nail salon and get a manicure, okay? But he's saying, but that's not normal in the UK. It's not very common. I must admit that feeling pampered, okay, was amazing, okay? He's saying that although it's considered to be not as normal as it is in Korea to get a manicure or a pedicure, of course we're talking about men, he's saying when he went about 2 or 3 months ago to get a manicure, he said that he felt a bit pampered. What is the word pamper? What does it mean? We went over this, yes, I think a couple of times before. It means to be cared for. When someone pays a lot of attention to you or, cares for you, then you would feel very pampered, very cared for. So he's admitting that it felt quite nice. My hands have never looked better, but still, I don't really want to do it again. So he's saying it was nice, it was a good experience, I did feel pampered and cared for, but I would not do it again. I don't know why my hands have to look that pretty. So he's saying, I don't know why a guy's hands, okay, have to look so pretty. Here we go. Kelly says, well, as far as I know, in Canada, okay, now she's talking about how things are in Canada. It's not normal either for men to get manicures or pedicures. But I heard it's becoming trendy for men to have nice, neat fingers. Nice meaning just very clean looking, nice looking hands, maybe soft looking as well. And what about neat? Neat is just another word for clean and tidy, okay? So nice, neat fingers or fingernails. The pedicure, she says, I guess for calluses? That is true. A lot of people get pedicures for calluses, to remove calluses. Okay, calluses is the plural form. Callus would be the singular form. We'll be going over that in just a bit. But to help you understand what this means is, once again, callus. Callus or calluses can form on the bottom of our hands, which would be our palms, or the sole of our feet, the bottom of our feet. It's caused by pressure and friction. So usually for men that go to the gym for weight training, okay, when you lift weights, what happens? There's friction and you're carrying or lifting heavy weights that you may actually end up getting calluses around here. Okay, it's hard skin, dry skin. That's callus. And a lot of women who wear heels, especially barefoot, you may form calluses on the bottom of your feet because of all the pressure you're putting on the bottom of your feet. Okay, so that's what a callus or calluses are. And the reason they were arguing is, now she's talking about who? Her friend, okay? That couple, somebody had given them a gift card for a date type of thing. So I guess it was kind of like a voucher, a free ticket where they could take to a salon, like a nail salon, and get a free manicure or a free pedicure. Okay, now she says, the gentleman, this would be the significant, the boyfriend or the husband, had felt that it was weird, it was strange, and she had thought he was close-minded. Okay, close-minded or closed-minded. This means, you've heard of narrow-minded, right? But closed-minded is slightly different. It's where you are not open to new ideas, okay? You are not open to unfamiliar ideas. You're only comfortable about arguing about things that you know about or ideas that you're familiar with. So close-minded, we'll go over that later on as well. In Korea, as you said, it's trendy. I believe it is trendy. So I just wondered what a UK view would be. Meaning, I just wondered what a person from the UK thought of a guy getting a manicure or a pedicure. He says, you know, whatever you're getting done as a guy, even if you don't admit it openly, you want to feel pampered. So what is he saying? No matter what it is, you know, guys love to feel pampered. They may not admit it by saying, oh, I like this, but deep inside they may think to themselves, this is nice. I like feeling pampered, but they just won't say it to other people. They will not admit it. And then he says, and afterwards you feel like $1 million as well. So he's talking about afterwards what? After getting a manicure or a pedicure, you feel like $1 million. This is an idiomatic expression. Bucks is just another word for dollars. So it's also said, feel like $1 million. It means to feel extremely good. So he's saying afterwards, after getting a manicure or a pedicure, well, to be honest, yes, you feel like $1 million. It feels extremely good. Moving on. And then he says, and yeah, it's everyone's guilty pleasure, I reckon. Reckon is consider or think, okay? But what is guilty pleasure? So what is a guilty pleasure? Let's say, a guilty pleasure is something that you enjoy doing, but you are not open about it to others. So say, for example, you are on a diet, okay? You're on a diet, but you still crave ice cream sometimes or late night snacks. So you enjoy having late night snacks late in the evening, but you feel guilty doing what you enjoy doing. This may be a bad example, but for example, somebody may say, oh, after a good workout, well, a guilty pleasure is a smoke, right? So some people, they enjoy doing something, but they feel guilty about admitting enjoying that thing, okay? And then he says, do you like getting it done regularly, Kelly? We're talking about getting a manicure or a pedicure. She says, now that you've mentioned it, I think I'm going to be heading off, meaning going to a salon fairly soon. A salon is like a small shop. A salon has many different definitions to it, but here we're talking about a nail salon. So it would be maybe a shop or a business or a department in which they provide you with services or products. But here we're talking about her heading off to a nail salon fairly soon. And then finishing off, Peter says, all right, I might join you, I might come with you, but I'm not going to admit that on air, meaning on television or on broadcast. Okay, so we can tell that he maybe does not want to admit that he really enjoys, getting a manicure or a pedicure, but he's saying, it's pampering, it's a nice feeling, it's good to feel cared for. So I might join you, but I'm not going to admit that I will join you. On air, that is. Okay, let's take a listen to the conversation one more time.
Hey Pete, I've got a question for you. My friend and her significant other have been arguing about whether or not it's normal for men to get manicures and pedicures. Why are you laughing?
What an interesting thing to argue about. I must say, for me, I never had it until maybe 2 or 3 months ago, and that's the only time I've ever had it in my life. I did think it was a bit of a girly, feminine thing to do, and I still do think that, but obviously, here in Korea, there's a different view to guys getting makeup done and having a perm and things like that. Whereas in the UK, that's not something that normal guys do, or that your everyday guy would do. But I must also admit that feeling pampered was amazing. Like, my hands have never looked better. But still, I don't really want to do it again. I don't know why my hands have to look that pretty.
Well, I must say, as far as I know, in Canada, it's not normal either, but I heard it's becoming trendy for men to have nice, neat fingers. The pedicure, I guess for calluses, it could have a practical use. The reason they were arguing is somebody had given them a gift card for a date type of thing, the gentleman had thought that it was weird, and she had thought he was closed-minded. And in Korea, as you said, it's trendy. So I just wondered what a UK view would be.
Yeah, no, I think, whatever you're getting done, as a guy, even if you don't admit it openly, you want to feel pampered.
Yeah,
and
of course.
Afterwards, you feel like $1 million as well. And, it's everyone's guilty pleasure, I reckon.
Wow.
Do you like getting it done regularly, Kelly?
Now that you've mentioned it, I think I'm going to be heading off to a salon fairly soon.
All right, I might join you, but I'm not going to admit that on air.
Get ready for today's actual expressions, everyone. Let's take a look at some vocab words today. Now, we all know what a manicure and a pedicure is, but I have chosen these two words to help you pronounce them correctly. Here we go. A manicure is pronounced manicure. Okay, one more time. Manicure. And a manicure basically is the trimming of your fingernails, or even polishing your fingernails, or actually as a noun, it can also mean nail polish. Manicure, nail polish. What about pedicure? This is special treatment of your feet and your toenails, and also removing of calluses and corns on your toes, right? So pedicure is pronounced pedicure, pedicure, pedicure. Good job. And pamper. Stress goes on the first syllable. Some synonyms are indulge, please, satisfy, and even better, cater to. Okay, cater to. Moving on, callus, callus. This is the singular form. In the plural form, you would add an es to it. So it would be C-A-L-L-U-S-E-S. Calluses. We're talking about areas of the skin that have hardened and stiffened, okay? Usually because of pressure or friction. Told you about women wearing heels. A lot of pressure is put on the bottom of your feet, so you will get calluses on the bottom of your feet. And for men that really work out hard lifting weights, you may get calluses on the palms of your hands. Moving on to salon. Let's practice the pronunciation. It's salon. Salon. One more time, salon, and we're talking about shops that specifically offer products or services. They cater to your needs, or the customers or clients' needs. Now let's move on to our patterns for today. Here we go. Close-minded or closed-minded. Okay? These are both used. So if you are closed-minded, you are not open to new ideas. Okay? You are not open to unfamiliar ideas. Here we go. It was hard to convince my closed-minded parents. So people that are closed-minded are very difficult to argue with and to convince. They are kind of narrow-minded as well. They're not open to new things. Okay? Moving on to our next one. Guilty pleasure. Okay, one more time. A guilty pleasure is a type of a pleasure, meaning something that you enjoy doing. But is there something that you enjoy doing that when you do it, you kind of feel guilty doing it, okay? Because you know it's not right or you know it's not good for you. So it's something that you do because you enjoy doing it, but while you do it, you kind of feel bad and guilty, okay? So here we go with the sample sentence. Having late night chocolate ice cream now and then is a guilty pleasure for me. Or a guilty pleasure of mine will work as well. So the point is what? You enjoy having chocolate late at night, but when you have chocolate late at night, you feel guilty. So you feel good, but at the same time, you feel very bad about eating chocolate ice cream late at night, okay? Moving on to our next one, look or feel like $1 million or $1 million. Basically means that you look extremely good or feel extremely good. Here we go. A quick swim in the morning makes me feel like $1 million. That's right. Doing something early in the morning, such as an exercise like a swim, so a quick swim in the morning makes me feel extremely good. It makes me feel like $1 million. And that about does it for today's actual expressions. Job well done, everyone.
Personal hygiene, making yourself look beautiful. Not something I'm particularly famous for, but for most girls out there, it's a really high on the agenda thing to do. We like to look pretty, we like to dress well, and another thing that we like to do is to make our nails look nice. Manicures for your fingers, pedicures for your feet. Okay? It's an opportunity to express yourself. Historically, people would have a manicure and they would get their nails nice and clean and make them look pretty, just varnished. And you go to a shop, spend some time, relieve stress. Nowadays, it's more of a fashion statement. If you get your nails done nowadays, you can spend hours in a nail shop. They're famous in Korea, they're all over the place. You can have jewelry on there, you can get stickers on there. It's a real opportunity for you to make yourself look unique, make yourself stand out, make yourself look amazing.
It's time for actual story, everyone, and today Martin has helped us out. Yes, having a guy talk about manicures and pedicures, but I think he did a wonderful job. He's helped us out a lot, as always. Let's take a look. He began by saying personal hygiene. Making yourself look beautiful. This may not be a complete sentence, but he started off with this sentence talking about manicuring or pedicuring, or actually just manicures and pedicures, getting them. Personal hygiene, hygiene is basically something that you can describe maintaining cleanliness and I guess just good condition. Just taking care of yourself, okay? Keeping yourself nice and clean for health reasons, okay? Making yourself look beautiful. So you take care of your hands and your feet for cleanliness and also to look beautiful. For most girls out there, it's a really high on the agenda thing to do. Agenda is what? It's like a plan, a list of things to do. So if something is high on the agenda, it's one of your top to-dos, okay? One of the top things to do on your to-do list or on your agenda. Meaning, for most girls, getting a manicure and a pedicure is very important. Our next one, nowadays, it's more of a fashion statement. It's a way of expressing yourself, okay? Maybe something that's fashionable or stylish, but it's something that you can do to express your individuality. And moving on to our final sentence, it's a real opportunity for you to make yourself look unique. Make yourself stand out, pop out among others, and make yourself look amazing. So he's saying, yeah, it's a good chance. It's a wonderful opportunity or a chance to look different, okay? Also stand out among others and also look beautifully amazing. All right, everyone, job well done. Let's take a listen one more time.
Personal hygiene, making yourself look beautiful. Not something I'm particularly famous for, but for most girls out there, it's a really high on the agenda thing to do. We like to look pretty, we like to dress well, and another thing that we like to do is to make our nails look nice. Manicures for your fingers, pedicures for your feet. Okay? It's an opportunity to express yourself. Historically, people would have a manicure and they would get their nails nice and clean and make them look pretty, just varnished. And you go to a shop, spend some time, relieve stress. Nowadays, it's more of a fashion statement. If you get your nails done nowadays, you can spend hours in a nail shop. They're famous in Korea, they're all over the place. You can have jewelry on there, you can get stickers on there. It's a real opportunity for you to make yourself look unique, make yourself stand out, make yourself look amazing.
You know what, to be honest, although I'm married now, before, whenever I would meet with a guy, whether it's a friend, an acquaintance, or anyone, the first thing I would look at, of course, are their hands, just to see how clean their hands are, just to see how well they take care of their hands. To me, it was very, very important. And believe it or not, men out there, a lot of women look at your hands. So please keep your hands clean. It may sound like a feminine thing to do, but, go to a nail salon once with your girlfriend or just a friend of yours. Try it out and see how wonderful it feels. And then after you get a manicure, you'll look at your hands and say, I'm glad I got it done. Okay, anyhow, we talked about manicures and pedicures today. Next time, let's talk about a type of therapy. It's very soothing. Let's talk about aromatherapy and much more about that topic in detail. In the meantime, come to our homepage, everyone. Come on over to www.ebse.co.kr. Look for Actual English with Jennifer. And once you're at our homepage, look for our message board and post up your comments or questions. And while you're there, check out our scripts as well. We'll have them uploaded. Okay, that is all for today, everyone. Thanks for joining me. I'll catch you again next time. Bye for now.